everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays Dark Souls 2. So we got to the Ruined Fork Road after kind of finding ourselves in a very tight spot against, that's not the way we go right now. Finding ourselves in kind of a tight spot against the Rotten. So we're going to upgrade a little bit, but also we can kind of progress in multiple directions and then fight all of the bosses that are major, like, late game enemies once we get a little bit further along here. So... not late game, sorry, like, gates to the late game, I should say. So we're in the, foggy forest here. I don't know if it actually has a name. What I do know is that there are some seriously annoying enemies in here, but also some useful NPCs.
Leave me be. I like it quiet. Leave me be.
Alright, so this dude is basically just rocks, but I'll let him talk, because I think we can actually get some useful info out of him.
Business have you here, traveler? You may call me Vengal, if I deserve a name in this sorry state. 'Tis rare to flap these gums. This is pleasant.
Well, then feel free to talk some more. I'm actually going to skip by a lot of his dialogue. Now, I forgot that dude basically talks forever, but basically he's just ahead now. His body's just kind of wandering around, and this is how we're going to get his armor. So let's learn a gesture first. The decapitate gesture, that could be useful for us. We can also buy a ring that nullifies death and petrification but breaks. This is useful right now because it actually, let's say you're really low on human effigies. You could buy this ring and then it actually breaks after you die, but you keep your souls and your humanity, but then you can just repair it if you have enough souls. So you can kind of use this to get infinite humanity, at least in its kind of current patch. Not infinite humanity necessarily, but you know what I mean. I wonder how we get... What is it? Let me just see what he has for sale. Claymore and Greatsword. Greatsword might be interesting for us to use. It's really heavy, but it could be fun to use regardless. And we have the definitely the necessary strength to wield it. I'm just trying to think of like another weapon that we can maybe use instead of our battle axe. Because battle axe has been fine, but it might be nice to get something a little bit better. Whatever. I need his mask. I don't remember how he just gives it to us though. Alright, well, you know, I think I'm just gonna, like, continue to talk to him for a second. Disregard the fact that my commentary is a little bit, suspect. There we go, I got Vengarl's helm. Okay, because last time, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I was kind of a dick and I just killed him right away. But I much prefer to get it the peaceful way, and then maybe I'll get a chance to get all of his armor. So this is sweet because obviously it makes us look like a dope-ass wolf or a lion or something. Now, this is a very scary part of the game, because it might appear like this forest is, you know, very safe for us, but in actuality, there are ghosts, and ghosts will try to kill us, and there's a lot of items, I'm assuming, in this forest, but as one might expect, when I played through it for myself, I basically just sprinted through the forest as quickly as I could to find a way out, and I believe this is the exact way out that I found, so we should be able to come close to a bonfire soon, and that will do it for the foggy forest for now. We got the item I wanted, which was Vengarl's helm. And we'll do a little bit of exploration here, but there is a bonfire right here. And there's also an NPC we can find here. There's a lot of useful stuff or interesting stuff that we can get up to here. Alright, so Vengarl's helm is an upgrade for us. This is actually the helmet that I used when I beat the game when playing through myself. Now, this area kind of reminds me a little bit of, like, New Londo Ruins, just in the way that it's kind of oriented. Get a Radiant Life Gem. There is a boss here, and it is a boss that's important for progress. And there is a spot to use a Fragrant Branch of Yore, which is that lion man over there, but I don't think I have a second Fragrant Branch of Yore. It's so hard to kind of look in your inventory. I don't know if you can sort it. Nick told me you can sort it, but I don't agree necessarily. You can get a Fragrant Branch of Yore. Okay. There's multiple times when we'll have to use these throughout the game, but we could use one right now, and I think that'll give us a key that we can use to get a new NPC. But anyway, what is interesting about this area is that we get introduced to the new curse mechanics in a big bad way. So there are basically these barrels that just exclusively laugh at us. Oh, I really thought I could get the backstab there. We find these barrels that exclusively laugh at us, and they curse us the more that we kind of stand near them. So we can break those barrels, which is useful. This is an enemy type we're going to be seeing like a lot of. Oh, okay. Probably good to be a little bit careful here. But if we get cursed, we don't instantly die, which is very important. We also don't instantly lose like all of our health. You know what I mean, like my HP bar problems. Oh, this is gonna be my death. I got cursed and died. I don't know if that's gonna be inhibiting for me. I don't really like fighting these Uruk-hai monsters. Most of the times I just run by them, but I thought maybe I could get the backstab on them and get kind of a jump on them there. No such luck. So again, I am on the lookout for another weapon, because at this point in the game, in my off-camera play, I was using something that was substantially better than what we're using right now. I could also just use some large Titanite shards if we could find them. There's probably, I mean, I'm assuming areas to farm them, I just don't know where. So, I'm not overly concerned right now with, I should equip my Estus Flask. I'm not overly concerned with, things like, killing all these enemies and, you know, getting my bloodstain back, getting souls and stuff like that. But there are some items in this area that I should at least run around and farm. Oh, well, not farm, you know what I mean. Pick them up at the very least. And if I can get my bloodstain back, then so be it. But mostly, curse basically does damage over time if you continue to be cursed. Mostly I'm looking for items that might be useful for me when it comes to progress here. And I'm not sure I've actually been to this area before. I think this might be where, like, a scorpion man inhabits. I remember Josh and Nick talking to me for a little while about a scorpion man, and I didn't know what they were talking about. So maybe we'll have a chance to actually fight a new enemy here. That certainly looks like a scorpion man, if you ask me. Might as well destroy these curse barrels first. Are we going to end up fighting Scorpion Man? I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. Oh my god. The lizards, the placement of them in Dark Souls 2 is so much worse than the placement of them in Dark Souls 1. There's more of them, but they're much, much harder to kill, I think. At least in my experience with them so far. So I never got this item before when I played. We'll see what this is. And if we die, we die. At least we're getting something here. Dark Scythe. That actually sounds super badass. That must be this weapon. Doesn't scale very well with strength, but it does do 94 dark damage. That could be cool. It's a halberd type thing. Let's just check out the moveset on this quickly. So we got the Dark Scythe. Seems pretty useful. Does it hit multiple enemies with its R1? No. What about like a two-handed R1? No, I'm looking more for like a swipe type thing than that. Let's just let our stamina replenish here. And we might end up upgrading this, but I don't know. It seems like kind of a long shot. There we go. So the second move of the combo is a swipe. I kind of prefer the battle axe, but we'll talk about that as we get a little further along here. Mostly, I'm still on the lookout for the Great Club. So hopefully, it's just Scorpion Dude and none of his friends. Oh, hello, Scorpion Dude. I mean, I don't really want to attack him if he doesn't want to attack me. I'll just take a quick look out for some more items instead. At least first, then I'll attack him, of course, afterwards, because you never know what kind of brilliant items he might have at his disposal. This one has a different hair color. I bet he was going out there to, like, alert the scorpion or something like that. He also didn't die in one backstab, which scares the shit out of me, but whatever, he's dead now. What is our item here? Another torch? Not immediately useful in all likelihood, but good to know, I guess. Oh, and this is where we can actually use a Fragrant Branch of Yore on this guy if we want to. So let's do that. And we'll fight him, and he'll give us a key, I believe, and we can actually... You'd think he'd be friendly, considering we just saved him from petrification, but no, of course not. This is Dark Souls, so, you know, it's either a 50-50 chance maybe it'll be a Pyromancer that'll help you get some bitchin' fire spells, or maybe it'll just be, like, an angry Uruk-hai, like, monster here. Looks kind of like Anthony Hopkins in the Thor movies. It's kind of. Like, emphasis on the kind of. Alright. Should be able to finish the job here. And we'll get the Fang Key, I believe, for killing him, as long as we pick up what he drops on the ground. I don't know what happened to his axe there. See you later! Or at least we get the Fang Key from... Are you serious? Did I just do this for nothing? Because that's where the bonfire is. Is it? I actually have gotten myself turned around a little bit here. There's a basilisk. That scares the shit out of me. But it's also exciting, because this is the first time I've been to this area, I think. But we'll see what items are contained within. Soul of a Brave Warrior is basically just extra souls for us. And Twilight Herb. I haven't used herbs that much. They're usually like HP regen plus you get something else out of it. Like HP regen plus lots of stamina regen or something like that. Dare I try to make this jump? I don't see why not. I can always walk back to Scorpion Man. This is another chest. Attack it just to make sure, and then we're doing a little bit of exploration here. It's the opposite of Lion Strats. I feel like I'm playing Minecraft right now. Black Knight Halberd. I imagine that is probably something that is right up my alley. Black Knight Halberd requires 26 dexterity. We're not even close. But look at that damage. Maybe we will pump a bunch of points into dex. Okay. Let's not go this way. Maybe we'll pump a bunch of points into Dex so we can actually use this. Again, you know, for PvE, I don't think it really matters what level I am. I guess this was all just to get the Black Knight Halberd, but anyway. Let's just leave then. Yeah, like, a lot of people are going to be like, well, you already put 30 into Strength. Why would you put 26 into Dex now? Well, the reasoning behind that would pretty much exclusively be that I could use this weapon, and as long as we're not really worried about what level we're going to be for invading people, then that should be fine. So, I don't know if it's the wisest idea to kill Scorpion Man, but Scorpion Man's here, and I have a sword. Well, I have an axe, so I think it might be a wise idea. I'm starting to realize that maybe this is not the wisest idea, because he doesn't take very much damage. He's still pretty pissed off about this whole thing. You know what? I'm going to leave him be for now. And the reason for that is that I know that there is a very similar looking important enemy that is coming up pretty soon. So let's just... Oh, that was pretty silly of me. I could use like... just want to see what his HP's at. I can't really. I could use some resin or something to maybe speed this whole shebang up. But I think instead, I'll save him as if he's like a story NPC that maybe I can come back and talk to later. If the moment exists. Anyway, I'm pleased with what we got there. That Black Knight Halberd might actually give me a real kind of progression that I can take in the future. Now I forgot that we have to fight these dick bags for the rest of the time. But if I end up dying, at least I got something out of it. Can I even... He can't make it through here, but I don't think I can make it through there either. We can try to execute like the greatest jump of all time. Alright, no, that's just not possible. Alright, so, Angry Urukai Man. If you're reading the Urukai, by the way, just so the reference is not completely lost. I'm assuming a lot of people will know what it is, but it's like the half-orc, half-man from the Lord of the Rings series of media properties. Now, there are a lot of treasure chests in this area, so if possible, I would love to get them. There's some other items down here, which I will pick up as well, and we'll just spend like a little bit gathering these, oh, Flame Butterfly, that's the item I was talking about, that autonomously lights torches. That's important to have. Some areas in the game, mostly the gutter, which we've already basically gone to, so maybe less so. There's a huge basilisk. He's annoying as heck, but he exists. So we are going to get cursed here, probably. There's one more angry curse barrel. Just want to smash the crap out of that. And then I should be able to avoid getting cursed. Trust me when I say, there are some areas in the game a little bit later that will make this area seem like a heaven, basically, in terms of the amount of curse that we're having to deal with. I'm just circling for a while, basically to try to get the backstab. It's kind of fishing a little bit, but also to see if maybe I would find more enemies coming my way. So just in case it's a mimic, it's not a mimic. We'll pop this bad boy open, and we receive some human effigies, which is actually 3 human effigies from a single chest is really good. And we also got some... I'm just going to run past this basilisk for now, okay? Maybe I'll run past the basilisk on the other side then. Because there's items behind it, I guess. And we'll get some of those. And I don't think it can actually follow us in here, so that's okay. We got another Pharos Lockstone and a Soul of a Brave Warrior. It's useful. Barrels oftentimes contain items. Oftentimes might be a stretch, but now and then contain items. It's the first time I actually used the Tower Shield's L2. I just wanted to see how much damage it did. The answer is, you know, not a whole hell of a lot relative to what we can do with our sword instead. And these guys have, like, crazy poise. They are not, basically stopping when I attack them, which is what I want to have happen. And we're still, at least a few souls away, a couple thousand away from being able to level up. Or being able to repair our Ring of Restoration, if that was considered a priority, which I don't really consider it a priority, but... If we kill the basilisk, it doesn't respawn. Mind you, what do you think our odds are of actually killing this thing? We'll kill it. It's going to take forever, but we might get an item for it. I can never remember. As you might expect. He's not that difficult. I mean, the patterns on it are pretty obvious, and we're going to fight multiple basilisks, like, later on in the game. So we kind of might as well go through the... nightmare of doing it here to begin with. And hopefully, before this episode, we'll at least get a peek at a boss that will open up an area to a future kind of like major progression zone of the game. That was pretty stupid of me. But he's half dead, and he's never coming back, whereas if I die, I'm totally coming back. So don't get your hopes up, Basilisk. The only bad thing is if I die, his health comes back. But so does mine, although to a lesser extent, unfortunately. Alright, just keeping stamina reasonably high. It's like a little boss fight here. That's okay. He should be dead maybe now. All right, please give me like 10,000 souls. It gave me 2,000 or 3,000. We also got a petrified dragon bone. I actually don't know what that's used for. But we have one, so that's potentially good news, I suppose. Just trying to fish for the backstab a little bit. I got cursed, so be it. It's actually, they're trying to bait you a little bit there. I don't want to step in that area just yet. Oh, right, they're not dead. And the reason for that is that the floor will collapse, as you can see. We got a life gem out of that. And that makes that whole area way, way easier. So I'm not lying stratsing here, and the reason for that is just to show off the area and actually take some time to gather the items, which is something that I have a bad track record of, but there's some good stuff in this area, so I'm glad I took the time to kind of nick strat the area. If you had to know, like, what the strats are, lion strat is running through the area as fast as you can and rolling around enemies as much as possible. Nick stratting is like farming absolutely goddamn everything. There's another fragrant branch of your opportunity here, but I don't have one that I can use, I think. Yeah, Nick stratting is like finding absolutely everything. Oh no, I'm cursed again. And Josh stratting is just like being good at the game for reasons that kind of are unbeknownst to me for whatever reason. So, I guess I'm just gonna check out this just to see if there's some items. I knew there was a staircase up. I don't know if there's actually items contained therein, though. There may or may not be. Pots at this stage, I would assume they would contain items, but I guess not. We get a Soul of a Brave Warrior, which is, again, good, and Skeptic Spice. I actually don't know what those do. The spices, that is. Why don't I check out my equipment, or inventory quickly, and try to find it. So we're looking for Skeptic Spice. Is that it? Lowers Faith by 1 for Chosen Spell. Chosen Spell, sorry. That's good. It's a good item. If you are a faith-based character, which I'm not. So, I just wanted to look down here to see if maybe there's something. What I am going to do, despite killing all these enemies... Oh, I haven't gotten that treasure chest at the top yet. So we're going to get that treasure chest, and then I'm going to just rest of the bonfire, then basically lion strat my way to the boss. So, I cleared out all the enemies to get all the items, and now we'll play the game my way. Please don't be a mimic. It is not a mimic. What is it instead, is the real question then. Titanite chunk and a petrified dragon bone. So I don't really know what the dragon bones do. Probably something to do with the dragon covenant, or, you know, turning into a dragon at some point or another. But I do know that the Titanite chunk is going to be very useful for upgrading weapons past a certain point in the game. So that's useful. Yes, if I die, I will lose 8,000 souls. Nothing about my gameplay so far, I should say, should indicate that I really care about losing that little number of souls, because, you know, when you beat a boss, you get like 35,000 typically, so that's enough to make you feel good about things, I would say. Alright, so we've come to another boss. This boss should be a little easier than the Rodden. I think that's where I'm supposed to use the fragrant branch of yore in order to actually get that key that I was talking about and get that NPC, but the NPC that you get from that, I think, kind of sucks. I got it in my off-camera game, and then I would, like, went to it and was like, hey, you're supposed to do this thing that's very important in Dark Souls 1. Why don't you do it for me here in Dark Souls 2? And she's just like, I suck. Anyway, we're gonna run to the boss fight, basically. This is Lion Strat 101, but I've already killed these enemies once. Why bother going through with it again? I do have an Estus Flask shard. I shouldn't forget that next time I go back to Majula, I think I have another one anyway. I should definitely burn that, or, sorry, give it to the Emerald Herald so that she can hook me up. But for now, let's go enjoy a fight against what I think is Quelaag 2.0. She's just kind of chilling out here. And again, this is, if I had to imagine, this is probably why Dark Souls has like a cartoon nudity or partial nudity type thing. But I want to point out the game's rated T for teen. It's not nude, it's covered. It doesn't violate any family standards or anything like that, to the best of my knowledge. Okay, so stamina management for this fight, pretty important. She should be a lot easier than the Rodden. But stamina management is going to be important so we don't die. For my money, she's a little bit easier than Quelaag as well. And basically, we're just going to do what I always do and avoid the attacks. And try not to get steamrolled by 1,000 sorceries at once, if possible. This might be a good... Oh, Jesus Christ! Might be a good fight for me to possibly use one of those abilities that improves our magic defense temporarily. We're gonna live there, and I think I'm smart not to use Estus, but if I get hit once, that'll change. Luckily, I didn't. I'm just letting the Radiant Life Gem, like, get my health back up. And, pretty much we're just gonna hang out, like, right here. Health's getting good again. Forgot about that move, but luckily I have the stamina necessary to handle it. And there we go. So we can start doing a little bit more damage. I don't know if there's a weapon that you can get for, you know, cutting off the tails or anything here. Alright, so that was stupid. I didn't let my stamina get back high enough. We might want to hang out near the front of this fight, actually. Alright, that went way better for me. I still think, you know, even though it hasn't been a good fight so far, I think I should still be fine. But it might take a couple of tries. You know, that's not out of the question. We'll also Estus up, because if we get hit by that attack, it's basically a one-hit KO. I really hate dealing with sorceries. What I will say, though... Oh, no. What I will say, though, is that I did manage to beat this fight without getting hit by sorceries, which is kind of blowing my mind now, because I can't stop getting hit by them now. Alright. I don't want to use all my life gems, if possible. But it might not be possible. There we go. That's more along the lines of the attacks that I was looking to succeed from there. Just if I could get her to not do her sorcery, we'll probably be fine. So this is a frustrating part of the fight. We'll just get her to, like, she's burrowed underground. We're just going to run around here, basically, and be okay. I don't know if maybe we'll bring... This is the NPC I was talking about, by the way. It's a boss. If I bring her soul or something to the Scorpion Man, maybe he'll start talking to me. Maybe he'll get aggro as hell and be like, you killed my wife? And I'll be like, yeah, dude, she was, like, kind of being a real dick about the whole thing. I just wanted to get by her into this, like, new door, and unfortunately that proved to be not okay in her books, I guess. So, you know, standard Dark Souls boss logic applies. Get close-ish, circle around, wait for an opening and attack. Now, I will say this boss is way freaking easier if you do what I did in my off-camera play and just wait until you're like level 100 or level 90 or something like that and beat all of the like mid to late game bosses in one quick succession with a really good weapon. But unfortunately, I find myself with a fairly early game weapon trying to make the best of it. Alright, I don't think that this is good for business, so I'm going to get off of her. I had a feeling that would probably result in my death. No, you're not supposed to use that ability. Oh, now she's gonna go underground. Yep, I had a feeling that might work out exactly as it did. As long as we don't get hit by her surfacing here, I think I should still be fine. Probably want to Estus, though. Is she still chasing me? Yeah, it's kind of a beeline. Oh, God. Oh, no! Oh... I've been having terrible luck / results against bosses so far. Well, you know, we have this bonfire here, so we can just come back and fight this boss later if we want to. I kind of want to just, like, go get my souls back, teleport to Majula, get 5 Estus, and maybe put some points into dexterity, even though I know there's better like, I know that the Great Club is just underground in the gutters, but, let's just do this quickly. I know this is a cheesy way to do things, but we'll equip Homeward Bones on our inventory here. Maybe we'll go for one more fight, but if it looks like it's not going well, then I'll Homeward Bone out of it. It should go fine. I mean, there's no AI summon, but the Scorpioness is not that difficult. I will maybe put... I've got a lot of poison. Poison might be good against this boss. I don't know. Resin is just... It's a nice little thing to put you over the edge, basically, if you're not doing so well. I can't believe I'm actually having more trouble with these bosses on my... second playthrough than I am on my first. Although, you know, I actually died to the Scorpion a lot on my first playthrough, but once I came back, like, later into the game, I did much better. Which is not to say that you shouldn't fight this boss right away. I think it's much more appropriate from a difficulty standpoint if you fight it basically when I'm fighting it with the equipment I'm fighting it with. But also a little bit more frustrating because it's much less of an automatic victory. It's like, you know, fighting the Taurus Demon when you're already strong enough to beat Gwyn or something like that in Dark Souls 1. Sorry, spoilers. Anyway. So that's 8,000 souls. That's like a level, basically. So we'll just do one attack here and then back to F up because she's going to surface. Didn't do damage to me for once. Maybe I should have stayed on top of her that time I got on top of her by accident. I really hate the way that ooze or resin makes your weapon look. I think it looks really, really cheesy, but that's kind of half the fun of it. And we're doing a good amount of damage this time. I feel way better about this fight. And I would like to actually get a successful boss fight, you know, in the books as opposed to just dying over and over like I have been for the last couple of episodes. We've been making progress, but it's been like progress from a level standpoint, not actually progress from a... Ooh, not progress from a, like, killing bosses standpoint. Okay, so it's gone well. I don't really want to use rotten pine resin again if I can avoid it, but we might, just to simplify the fight a little bit, and obviously this is the hard part. By the way, if you're wondering what's going on with the, what's going on with that item over there, it seems like there's an item on top of that tree. Oh my god, maybe I should use green stamina blossom, because I can't seem to just not get into the way here. If you make her, like, do a tail swipe into that tree, she'll actually knock that item down, and you can get whatever it is that's up there. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time actually running away from her here. That's fine. Gives us time to Estus. Just gotta make sure we're not at low health when it happens, I guess. So we have lost our poison. I don't actually know if we're doing less damage as a result. She might, you know, have poison resistance considering she's a big scorpion that is venomous, presumably. Alright. Just stay out of the way of that one. 2 attacks. And I probably should have taken a chance to Estus there, but that's okay. So, just because if we get caught by something, then it's gonna hurt a lot. So let's Estus up quickly. That's good. She's below half. We've got half of our Estus plus life gems left. Just play it cool. The less she does the magic sorcery attack, substantially better our life becomes. See, she's very pattern-based. I mean, all enemies in Dark Souls are very pattern-based, but she's as pattern-based as, like, Quelaag or something like that. And if you get hit once, you're not going to get killed, which is, you know, a nice change of pace versus a lot of other bosses that we could be fighting right now. So I'm life gemming up just in case I end up getting hit. I don't want to use an Estus because Estus is really very much for, like, quick heals. But I would very much love to not get hit by the surfacing attack here. I managed to avoid it the first time. Yep, there we go. I'll just take another hit if you don't mind. I'm glad I life gemmed at least, so we can stay on full health after one Estus. As long as I can get her, as mentioned, not to do... Oh god, I cut off one of the... I didn't know I could do that! I didn't know I could do that! I should probably try to get the other one. But I don't want her to do the sorcery attack. So if I can just keep her from doing that, I'll be an extraordinarily happy camper. Okay. So I'm just... Stay smart. This is where a lot of Dark Souls boss fights go badly. You get cocky and then you start to think like, oh, there's no way I could possibly be stopped now. And oh, I got 2-hit comboed and now I'm freaking dead. Stamina management remains important at all times. I'm glad I went back for that second boss fight then. So, we didn't get that item. Shit happens. We get a Scorpioness soul. I understand, by the way, that every time I say it, it probably sounds like I'm saying Scorpioness, like Scorpioness or something like that. That's not my intention, you juvenile, shallow, and pedantic swine. That was not what I meant to do either. That was not my intention. But with 31,000 souls, I very much, you know, will admit to you my intention is to run the F back to this bonfire, and then I really do, before this episode ends, want to talk to Scorpion Man and see, let's be honest, what up with that, because I've never seen him before, so I don't know if maybe this will trigger some kind of mini-boss fight, or maybe he'll give me an item and be like, thank you for freeing the soul of my queen, or something like that. It's probably an extremely smart idea to teleport back to Majula first, but I do have a homeward bone on my person, and I don't want to waste the time. So, we'll just realize that, you know, I want to be smart about this, and if I can pick up some levels of dexterity and get closer to wielding that Black Knight Halberd, that might be really useful. I should probably check out the moveset as well, but, you know, I'll ask people on Twitter. I'll say, Twitter people, how does the Black Knight Halberd look in Dark Souls 2? How does it feel? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And people will let me know how they feel about it, and as a result, I defer to the wisdom of others in order to determine the path for myself. Now, there are enemies to fight down here. Hopefully they don't actually end up following me down. There should be some enemies still down here. Thought there was like a... Oh, there's a lizard! I remember you, fucker! Oh my... Because he gets in the corner, and then he's very difficult to hit. Oh, I probably could have gotten him there. That's Twinkling Titanite, which we use to upgrade a certain class of weapons. Alright, what do you got for me here, Scorpion Man? I freaking gave... I've got the soul. What am I doing? Okay, well, you know what? I know that this is a total waste of a homeward bone, but I have 16 of them. So, I am going to teleport back to Majula. That's what you're going to miss in kind of the off time here. And then I'm going to teleport back to the bonfire that we're going to be at and go to the kind of next area of the game. But for now, I hope you enjoyed that episode. We actually accomplished something for once. If you did, continue to show your support. It means the world to me and the success of the series by clicking the like button and, of course, subscribing if you want to see more every single day up on YouTube. And, of course, check back tomorrow for another episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time.